to the Recovery Daily podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Abbasi. I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic and stroke survivor. And today I have several topics that are unrelated. The first being a fun fact. Okay, are you ready for this? The fun fact that I realized this morning that I don't think I've ever told anybody is that in my dreams, I'm always roller skating. I know it's very strange. And I would like to say that I'm roller skating in my dreams because it symbolizes freedom and balance and movement forward, but that's not why I dream about roller skating. Like wherever I am, I'm roller skating. If I'm at a grocery store, a mall, I have a frequent dream reoccurring that I'm at a mall. And that's what I was talking about this morning. I'm in this mall that's part mall, part cruise ship. And I'm roller skating through it to go where I need to go. And as happens in cruise ships, at least my recollection of being on a cruise ship once, there are I don't even know if that's true in reality, but in my cruise ship, in my dreams, there are bars everywhere, small, alcohol bars there. And every time I roller skate by one, it's either closed or it's about to close. They've already, said last call, or nobody's even at the bar. And in order to like get to it's part hotel too. So it's part mall, hotel, and cruise ship, this thing that I dream of and that I'm frequently roller skating. Um, because I then roller skate through the mall back to the hotel. Of course, I can't remember my room number and all kinds of stuff. But I also dream that I'm roller skating through my high school and I'm trying to get to my next class, but I can't remember where my next class is. Or I've missed the class all semester, something like that. But there is one thing that's always consistent, and that is that I'm roller skating. So why? Why do I dream that I'm roller skating? I think I know the answer. And the answer is I have really bad hip pain when I'm sleeping. This started when I did the Avon walk, which was like 15 years ago. I did the Avon walk in DC for breast cancer. My mother had just had breast cancer and she got a lumpectomy and did radiation and all that stuff. And I wanted to show support for my mom and I needed an outlet because I was really troubled by it, as you would guess. But I did this Avon walk and I thought that I trained for it. And in my mind back then, training for an Avon walk, which is 36 miles in 2 days, I believe was the total. I thought if I just walked a couple miles every so often that I was training for it. That was not the case. I was probably at like 10 miles the first day when I started feeling this hip pain, and I just kept going and I walked 26 miles the first day with just terrible hip pain, and I didn't listen to my body, and I believe that I permanently injured my hips. And so they don't really, when I was running and stuff like that, they didn't bother me when I was running, but sleeping has always been difficult. And even today, when I'm not running or anything like that, I still have hip pain. So I think my subconscious has has resolved the issue by putting me on skates. So, because if I'm not on skates in my dreams, I can't walk. I'm like handicap or something. It's interesting how my dream translates what I'm actually feeling while I sleep. So that's a fun fact for you. I mean, it's not fun that I have hip pain every night, but it is fun that I roller skate every night in my dreams. Interesting fact about me. So then the second topic is in my first meeting today, we were talking about Tradition 8, which is about AA remaining non-professional, except for the like like the AA service centers can employ like receptionists and special workers. So that's a boring topic, but it's an important topic, and I wanted to bring that up just because it was something that we talked about this morning, and my mind went on a little trip as I was thinking about what that means and how, like, what's a metaphor for that. And I've been talking a lot about gardens lately. And what this reminds me of is like AA is like a community garden. And it reminded me of that, I guess, because as we were looking for different communities that we were interested in moving to, the ones that we were interested in all have community gardens. So you can be a part of the garden club and you can go and take care of the common areas where they have planted gardens. So I definitely want to do that. And I was thinking how related that is to AA, how if you think of AA as a community garden and nobody gets paid to show up and water it, nurture it, plant seeds. We do it out of love for the program, out of love for the fellowship. And the payment from that effort, that volunteering, is joy and serenity and growth. Um, so that's what came across my mind today. And then the second meeting was about gratitude. And I thought, well, this is just a really nice topic for me to think about today, especially as I continue to get frustrated, secretly frustrated about the I want everything in my life to happen yesterday. I want things to happen quickly, and they don't happen in my time. And you all know that I've been struggling with that. And what is always good to remember in times of frustration and wanting life to hurry and go at my speed is gratitude. Gratitude shifts my mind from thinking about what's missing in my life to what's here in my life. So, um, my daughter Bailey, I'm allowed to say her name. Bailey called me last night crying. Sorry, Bailey. I don't even think she listens, but she was crying. But it wasn't because she was sad. It was because, well, I don't know what it was, but she had attended a soccer game of her team that she played for in high school. They were in her town where she lives playing a game. So she went and watched, and it was very emotional for her. And she was like, I don't know why I'm crying. And I was like, I know why you're crying, because that was one of the best times of in your life where you had a common purpose, and you had a love of the game, and it made you feel good, and you were good at it, and you outgrew it. And that is it's It's sad, but it's also beautiful memories. So it's a mix of emotions, and it's very normal. And I thought if I was there, I would be crying too, because that was some of my favorite times too, was going to watch her play her games. Just like I love going and watching my son play a gig, and I don't get to do it. And thinking about it makes me sad too. But I'm grateful for the times that I had. I'm grateful. That's kind of a little bit where those tears come from. It's like out of gratitude that it happened, sadness that it's gone. Um, so the gratitude topic made me think of that as well. Um, this gratitude also continues to feed. So the meeting that I go to at 8 o'clock, they're having a gratitude picnic on Labor Day. And so the theme really has just been gratitude for this long weekend. And gratitude is also something that feeds that meaning. The AA program is being grateful for having the fellowship. And in AA, one of the most important things that I implemented in my life, and this was thanks to my first sponsor, she asked me to send her 3 gratefuls every day through text. And I was terrible at it. I never called her. I never sent her my gratefuls. It wasn't until I was about 5 years sober and I had a couple sponsees, that I asked, I was like, let's send gratefuls to each other. We'll send 3 gratefuls to each other. And so we all did that for quite a couple years, several years maybe. And I loved it. It was really good for me. Maybe I wasn't 5 years sober. I think it was earlier than that, because I had my stroke when I was 5 years sober, and I was doing gratefuls for a couple years before that. So maybe I was like 3 years sober. But it's such a nice way. It gives me 3 things. Let me see if I can remember those. One, it's a great way to practice step 10. It's a great way to, before I go to bed, I'm thinking through my day. And no matter how frustrating the day might have been at work or dealing with people or whatever, no matter how frustrating it might have been, if I sit and think about it, force myself to shift my attitude before bed, I put my head on my pillow with only positivity in it. So I've always had this thing with my kids about the good dreams and the bad dreams side of your pillow. So if you have a bad dream, you flip your pillow over, so that when you go back to sleep, you only have good dreams. It's a thing, okay? And it works. So I think it's important to go to bed with a positive attitude. So it helped me do that. It helps me practice step 10 while I'm reviewing my day. I'm thinking through what were the things that I was frustrated with, and do I, why was I frustrated? What were my intentions? And find gratitude in whatever it was. So working my gratitudes and step 10, the daily inventory, together were really helpful to clear resentments and recognize blessings. And then finally, doing the gratefuls with a gratitude buddy, it builds a really strong connection between you and your buddy. You can hold each other accountable. Like when one of you remembers, the other one is sure to follow. And it was really helpful for me, rather than asking my sponsees to call me every day. I just asked them to send me their gratefuls, and I was able to keep up with what was going on in their lives. So we grew closer and more aware of what's going on in each other's lives just by sharing those honest reflections every day. Um, so I really like having a gratitude buddy. I haven't done it. This is an excuse, okay? I haven't done it since my stroke because we were texting it and I can't text when I couldn't text after I had my stroke. And the the kicker was I would do it before bed and the dogs were already asleep. So when I was texting, I did voice text and I couldn't do that anymore. You know, since I couldn't visually text, I couldn't voice text because it would wake the dogs up and make them want to get out of their crates and stuff like that. This was when they were sleeping in their crates every night. So it's an excuse for sure. I get that. I'd like to fit gratitude back into my life consistently. What I do now really is more like when I'm walking Autumn because I have several long walks with her, long for me, walks with her. And I do tend to have a habit of finding something that I'm grateful for while I'm out there walking with her. Um, Yesterday, I was feeling kind of frustrated and I felt like crying. So I took Autumn out for a walk. And during that time that I was walking, it was really good. Like I recognized it right away. I recognized that I was frustrated and I wanted to cry. So what's the answer? Go outside with Autumn. That's gonna like surely going to help me. So that's what I did and it did help me. I walked with her for probably about 15 minutes and I felt like I had a clear head and I felt much better when I came back home. And I don't know, being outside and being in nature, especially this time of year as it starts to get cooler and there's a breeze and it's not just oppressively hot outside. It's it's wonderful. I don't know, I just feel gratitude when I go outside. So that was very helpful for me and I was able to notice it right away. And that only comes with practicing enough that it starts to become a habit, being self-aware of when you need something. Like I was talking about yesterday, I could have done everything yesterday according to my program, and nothing was going to help me get out of that frustration but going outside. It's like sometimes I feel like when I go outside, like it, or I should say, sometimes I feel like when I'm inside, it's like the walls and the roof around me are like holding in all of my feelings, good or bad. And so when I go outside, if I'm frustrated, I feel like it like sets them free. You know, I don't know if that sounds silly, but that's what you guys know who have been listening for a long time. I have a lot of visualizations that help me feel like have some mental clarity and stability and stuff. So, um, that's really what's been going on. I think that I wanted to talk about gratitude today just so that I can refocus on gratitude. And I wanted to tell you about my silly little secret about roller skating in my dreams every night and encourage people that if you haven't heard me talk about it before, find a gratitude buddy and I think you'll find it enjoyable, really. If you get into the habit of it, find a time in the day that works for both of you because it's nice when you both do it at the same time. I mean, that's what was helpful to me, but it doesn't have to be that way. You can have one of you does it in the morning, one of you does it at lunchtime, whatever's convenient for you. But I think you'll find a lot of hope in that, and it'll change. It's also a great way of not feeling like you're alone, even when you have a strong faith and a fellowship and all of these things. You have this connection with somebody where you are you are trying to live better with each other. And it's just a simple way to do it. So that's what I've got for you today. Thanks for joining me, and I will talk to you tomorrow.